What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FudgeMuppet. It's Scott and Michael here today, talking to you about our thoughts on the Vault-Tec DLC. We've had a bit of time to play around with it today, and we're going to tell you what we think.
Yeah, we're basically going to tell you everything you need to know about the DLC as well, because it is small, and I will say now, spoilers warning, because we're basically covering everything because there's not that much. So if you don't want to know what's in this DLC, I'd advise you don't watch the video until you spend some hours playing the DLC yourself. And then you can come back and see if you think the same as we thought. So, with that said, let's get into it. Is it worth it, Scott?
It's okay. It's solid. It's solid. I mean, if you're into the settlement building side of things, you'll probably love it. If you really just want to sit there and make your own vault and so on. And I mean, we can debate whether the lore friendliness of it really, exists, because it's sort of like crazy that you'd be able to, without all the pre-war industrial sort of technology and factories, to be able to make all the vault infrastructure, and just someone in the wasteland can do it. Pushing that aside, the actual settlement building part, yeah, it's fun for the people who are into the settlement building. It's very much the same. I was actually, if anything, the whole main story part, like the little, like you get a little quest and they say, oh, radio beacon, here we go, come to the Vault 88. You help the overseer, or the current overseer. You can sort of become the overseer, and you do some little experiments which sort of seem to be inconsequential in the long run. I think they don't really do anything because you don't run any more experiments. You just sort of introducing you to some of the new items, and it's just a little bit of a quest kind of thing. But besides that, you're just clearing these big caves of enemies and junk, and then basically making your own vault.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They added a whole bunch of new items within the settlement building mode. At the end of the DLC, once you're finished, you'll be able to get a boost to all your stats of +1 temporarily using items, except I think charisma. We weren't able to find a charisma boost, but basically you can hop on a bike and get a +1 endurance boost for a while, or play the slot machine and get +1 luck. There's a bunch of stuff like that. As you can see in this video, there's some interesting animations for all of it, which is of course very entertaining, and maybe that makes the DLC worth it for you. But as a general rule, the DLC isn't that complex. The quests are very short, and if you're an evil character, it can sort of add to that, because you can really just pick the worst experimentation options available, and that's sort of what the whole story of the DLC is about. It's just experimentation. You get some settlers, they come in, you attract them using a beacon, and you say, hey, go ride this bicycle until it explodes and you go flying across the room. Things of that nature. And if you don't want to do any of that, you don't have to. I've read, we didn't do this ourselves, but I've read that you can just say, like, fuck off to the ghoul overseer who's there. She leaves, and then you just have the vault for yourself, and she leaves some experiment, like, blueprints in case you want to do it for yourself. At the end of the DLC, you will receive a unique item. As far as we've found, the only unique item in the DLC. I wish there were more. I hope there are more. I hope I'm completely wrong. Please tell me. We just have a Vault 88 uniform, making you take less damage from ghouls. So nothing special, but sort of cool if you want to be an overseer or something like that.
But still, there's some cool ideas with it. Like, I think what I'm going to do is actually clear out the entire place, but I'm basically going to make an underground shanty town instead of a vault. Something, a little bit more interesting, and I'll use like the strings of light bulbs to give it some cool sort of, maybe like Metro 2033 vibes. And since you are actually connected to like the train stations and stuff, it's kind of cool, like the big area.
There's some escape routes, and if you're interested, go check out Fluffy Ninja Llama's video I just watched on it, showing all the new items. I just thought it was a good video because the vault looked exactly like sort of Fallout Shelter. It was very well put together, most likely with some console commands, but hey, that's sometimes necessary.
Yeah, but overall, it's just a solid piece of DLC. If you like settlement building, you'll be for you exactly. But besides that,
if you don't like settlement building, do not buy this DLC.
Yeah, the story element is nothing really. It's a few little tiny quests. It's not really worth it if that's what you're there. So you're not missing out on any story.
There is a whole bunch of junk for you to scrap as well, but that's pretty much
I think
it.
That's a lot. That's a good way to do it. Like, I might just get a trader to go between Vault 88 and like link up my settlements, so I just use all the resources of Vault 88, but that's about it.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, and we look forward to nerding out with you all again very soon.